I don't support no tax on tips. In fact, I support higher taxes for those that don't tip.
He says no tax on tips. I say more taxes for non-tippers.
I tease. No, I just got an email from Uber. You probably got it too, where they're like, hey, I don't know, I didn't read it, but it's probably rah Uber, we're doing something for you. We're fighting for you through the government to make sure that you don't get taxed on your tips. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, if I'm not going to get taxed on my tips, I'm not going to like just randomly pay more taxes just to so I'll definitely you know not pay taxes on my tips if that's the law. But the reason why I don't support it is I just don't think the government should operate this way. I don't think the government should have policies that play favorites. I think there should be really flat, simple taxes and simple laws and things like that. And I think these big, beautiful bills, all right, whatever President Trump calls it, and he's not the first, right? They all do this, these omnibus packages where they have like, you know, pork funds for, congressional districts and weird, rare tax deductions and stuff like that. It just makes things more complicated, and more complicated is not good. It's not a good way to run a government. It's not a good way to run a country. I know, and I mean, I assume we all know the reason why this is even a thing is because Trump probably just was spouting off one day. He's probably trying to win the Nevada state, as the presidential candidate. And so he just said, "Hey, I don't think you should be taxed on tips." And he runs, kind of seat of his pants kind of thing, right? And I can imagine his aides being like, "What the hell did you just say?" And they're trying to scramble to figure it all out. And so he's trying to win votes, and that's not a good thing. Buying votes, whether it's big oil or big tobacco or big service worker that gets tips, that's kind of bad. And then the Democrats chased it, like they always do. I don't know how Trump does it, but he gets Democrats to like chase him more than anything else. And so the Democrats chased him next. They come, oh, we'll do it too. And so that's why it's a thing. It's just to win votes. There's no real economic policy benefit behind it. And quite frankly, I think a lot of the people that earn cash tips, they don't even pay taxes anyway. I've probably earned, I said this before, but I've probably earned, maybe $500 in cash tips. I got a $100 bill one time. I've gotten a few 20s, bunch of ones, some fives. I don't get that many cash tips, and I've done 13,000 rides over the last 5 years. $500 max, $100 a year cash tips, give or take. And so, yeah, I claim $100 on my taxes because I don't want to. I'm afraid of the IRS. I don't want to go to jail. I don't think I would do well in prison. Um, but the reason why this is a thing, no tax on tips, is so they can win elections. It's not about economic policy. It's not about what's good for the nation. And I don't like the government playing favorites, even though I might be getting the benefit of this. And let's kind of game theory this out a little bit. If you're familiar with game theory, there's a bunch of different parts to it. But within the world of economics, it's the study of like how not all people are rational actors. I don't know the right way to say it. And it's been 20 years since I went to grad school, so I'm probably saying this wrong. So if you're a game theorist, economist with your PhD, go into the comments and weigh in, and feel free to correct me here. But the idea is like, what happens next? Let's say in the big, beautiful bill, there'll be no taxes on tips. And in the short run, people like you and me are going to make a little bit of extra money. I make about $15,000, if not more, a year in tips. I make it somewhere between $200 to $300 a week in tips. So yeah, I make some good money in tips, and that means my taxable income is going to drop significantly. And right now, Uber is basically my only source of income. It's like the state of New York and the federal government think I'm the poorest man alive. Um, and so yeah, well, it would lower my taxable income, sure. And so there's that. But what happens next? That's what game theory. Like, let's do the next step. Um, I think the next thing that's going to happen is employers are going to incentivize workers to earn more in tips. So what does that mean? I could see like coffee shops paying their baristas less because they have an iPad and they're going to turn that iPad around. And they're going to try to find ways to incentivize you as the customer, me as the customer, to tip the barista more. Now, the coffee shops I go to, man, I tip them great. 25%, 30%, whatever the max number is, that's what I tip because I love my coffee shop and I love the people there. So I'm glad to tip them as much as possible. It's really fit. I could see like crazy things. Like, can you imagine McDonald's giving their employees tips? So now you order McDonald's and they'd be like, well, do you want a roundup? Not for the Ronald McDonald House, but would you like to round up your order from $16.50 to $17 flat to pay a tip? Our workers don't get taxed on those tips. That's a really good thing. I could see that happening. And a rise, the next step would probably be there's already a huge backlash, an anti-tipping culture thing going on in America. I could see the next thing them being people like, I hate it. I already hated those iPads, and now it's like more pressure to tip. And all they did was pour me a cup of coffee, and yeah, you just see that pressure. And so people like you and me who don't make that much money on tips as a percentage of our income, we're going to get hurt because people are like, I'm not going to tip my Uber driver because they're being tipped out everywhere else. And so people are going to get more and more tip fatigue. And yeah, that's the game theory I have behind it. I just have a moral thing against. I'm morally against. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. I'm against the government doing this, picking winners and losers, trying to say, because you do this, because you're a nurse that walks to work in the rain, we're going to give you a tax deduction, or we're going to pay for your raincoat. And I imagine this is a stupid program in the federal government for nurses, raincoats for nurses. You're right. It's a $1.2 billion program, and nobody gets the person that runs that program making a killer salary, and then they're donating to one of the political parties and back channeling money that way to one of the candidates, and they're putting that into that big beautiful bill. And there's probably 20 nurses with raincoats in America, right? I hate that part of the government, this slush fund kind of thing. And that's what this is to me. It's buying a vote. And we could say it's horrible and evil when big oil gets some sort of tax credit, or real estate developers that are billionaires like Trump get tax credits. That's wrong. Well, it's equally wrong for low wage workers like you and me to get this benefit. No. Again, if the law passes, I'm gonna take the tax credit or the tax deduction. I'm not gonna pay taxes on my tips. But I don't feel good about it. Maybe I do. Maybe I would. Maybe I'll tip more. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Or do you have any things about it? Hey, we've got like 3,000 some odd people that have subscribed to this channel. I'm super grateful. We've gone over 1 million views on this channel, and I really appreciate it. And so I'm trying to create content I'm not trying to create content that's going to tell you the best way to drive, because there's a lot of people out there that they think they have the best plan. And I have a masterclass. You can go watch it. It's my way to help drivers. But the truth is that you're unique. The city that you're driving unique. The car that you drive, the times in which you drive, your needs are all unique. And you know what? You should drive your way. So for 2025, I want you to drive your way. And I created this channel for drivers like you and me to be safe, healthy, and happy, earn as much money as possible, but enjoy the ride. Be well, be safe, and know that I'm cheering for you. Bye.